How to conduct a post-construction lessons learned review. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can actually do this, get it done, and get that feedback loop to the point where your folks in estimating and pre-construction and hopefully business development can take those lessons learned onto the next projects so that we can be lean and improve from project to project. And so I'm going to go through the detailed steps of what you can do, the different topics you can discuss, and how you can approach it for it to be successful for you. So if you're into that, stay with us on this video. So this is my jam. Let me open this up by saying a true lean company will get the leadership, the people who have the decision-making power and the financial power to actually make changes, will connect them with the people, boots on the ground doing work. Non-lean, lean. Non-lean, lean. If you want to be lean, make sure that the people who can make the decision to spend the money are with the people that know what they're doing in a feedback loop. And we must not ignore, skip or forget or miss the opportunity at the end of a job to do a post-construction lessons learned. Like, we've got to do it, because the accurate information for that can then feed back to your business development people, your estimators, your pre-con leaders, and you can do every job better and better and better and better from the job before. This is huge. I am not into shaming like language. I'm not here to lecture anybody. I'm not doing a podcast right now. I'm not talking down to anybody. But I just question, can I be lean? Can we be lean and really espouse continuous improvement if we don't do at least the basic review of how did this project go? It's once in a project, so let's do it right. Let me take you through the steps right now. Okay, so the post-construction lesson learned review is key for a couple reasons. To make sure that we understand any mistakes or problems, to make sure that we understand what went well and what we need to keep doing. So it's kind of like a plus delta, or if you've been in other organizations like the roses, buds, thorns, or the start, stop, continue, right? This is your reflection at the end. Here's why it's important. You want a better experience for your management team. You want a better experience for your workers. You want to make more money. You want to take care of the client. You know, let me just say something else. Like, as you do this, you can knock out a couple of key things. Let me just tell you the two most important ones for me. We do not start courting the client to do the next job when the RFQ or the RFP comes out. We do it now. We should be doing it throughout the project. And this end of project review is such a good opportunity to close out this project in a beautiful way with a good taste in the client's mouth so that they know that you're a sure thing for the next project. The other thing, if you've read the book, How Big Things Get Done, you'll understand this concept of a reference class. So we always do these brand new production plans or these brand new schedules just out of nowhere, like we've never built a project like this before. We've got to get good at understanding how past projects did, what was their overall total cost, what was their overall total schedule, what were their overruns, because if we're experiencing that historically, we're probably going to experience that in the future. So even cataloging good information for your reference class is huge, in addition to the things that you can do to make just the next project better, just from some of the lessons learned. Now, let me say this real quick. We can't just do the review and just file it away somewhere as passive data. It must be active data. We need BD people there. We need pre-con people there. We need your estimators there. We need your project director or executive there. We need the people there who will plan the next project so that they can take real action and not just talk, but writing it down and getting it done. Okay, so let me take you through the steps. Number one, set the stage and define the objectives, right? We're not just hanging out because we ordered pizza, right? What are we attempting to do? We want to go through and be prepared, have the right data, make sure that we have a solid agenda and that we've time blocked everything so that we can stay on track. A structured approach to this will be the best. So start out by understanding, hey, what are we doing? What's the objective? And make sure that that stage is set so people are ready to come do business. The project's not done. We still get to do this, and we should do it well. Number two, review the project data and the documentation. Now, I love this. Whatever information for the reference class, for future projects and for your evaluation should be clear. And guess what? This is why I love it. Anything that you would want to know at the end, anything that you would want to track so that you could improve, anything that you would want for your reference class, we'd better be tracking appropriately throughout. So as we look at this, like, you can improve your financial metrics, your tracking metrics. You can improve your financial projections system. You can improve the KPIs that you track. You can improve your monthly report outs for the company. And so what I would say when you're starting a project, unless it's already done for you at an enterprise level, is make sure that you're continually getting better and better data to eventually accomplish this meeting, right? You'll want to review the following things: your project schedule, your budget reports, quality control reports, safety reports, change orders, communication logs if necessary or applicable, and anything else that's important for your project, and I would say especially your lean KPIs, so that you understand exactly how that project went. So you're going to definitely want to understand your roadblock removal average, how well you did with constraints, your remaining buffer ratio throughout, your percent plan complete score as you went through, and you're going to want to make sure that you understand your perfect handoff percentage if you're implementing, which you should be, the TAC production system. So make sure that you're reviewing those metrics in that meeting, and what's really neat is that will create a need for how you track it throughout the project. Number 3, facilitate open and honest communication, right? So this is not a time to be defensive. And it never is actually. This is not the time to be like, well, that's why we did that. Well, we had to. No. Pretend you're not talking to somebody else, but you're putting it on the table, right? This was an issue that you team had to deal with and did great, but this was the issue, right? It could be labor constraints. It could be not having materials on time. It could be that a process or a system broke down. We approach it from this concept of we don't blame people, we blame systems, processes, we blame behaviors, we blame cultures, but we don't blame the human being themselves. If you can approach this discussion in that way, hopefully you can create safety and get everybody to speak up about what really happened and what you really can do next time. Now, if you have a culture of planning the project together and running it together as a collaborative team, this should be fine. If you threw this job on the superintendent and now are like berating this person, him or her, that's not going to go well. They're going to get defensive. So you have to approach this from what problems externally affected you and what systems or processes as a company could we improve to really take care of some of the actual organization and management problems we had along the way. Number 4, focus on key areas for reflection. Let me just give you a quick list. How effective was the project schedule? How well was the budget controlled throughout? Was project communication effective? How well did the team work together? Were roles and responsibilities clear from the start? Did we encounter any unexpected or anticipated risks? Were there enough contingency plans in place? Did the project adhere to safety protocols and do well from a safety standpoint? How well were contracts and change orders managed? What was the client and stakeholder satisfaction level? And how did those stakeholders, including the client, engage with us as a part of a collaborative team? That was just a taste. There's so many other things that you could discuss, but really what we're wanting to mainly figure out is how can we better take care of the client next time and win the work, right? Okay. How can we appropriately do a reference class forecast for the next project? So gather that data and do that reflection. And what are the key things that we can do to make the work easier, safer, better, faster for everybody involved on the next project? So those are the questions that you will ask in a structured manner. Number 5, please collect all of this information from the people in the meeting. Hopefully you've gotten the right folks there, anyone with knowledge of the project, and you can include the owner if you would like and have that relationship. And number 6, identify actionable improvements. And these, if it's dealing with BD, it needs to go into their training and their way of doing business. If it's a lessons learned for estimating, it needs to go into the standard work and the method or the process that estimating uses. If it's for pre-con, you need to update your pre-con process and make sure that these things are tracked from a lessons learned standpoint and that you're actually able to implement them on the next project. And lastly, repeat the process on every job. If you actually do this and get real information that helps you with the next job, and it's not just just a, hey, here's what we did and file it somewhere hidden on the server, but you're actually taking those lessons learned into the individual huddle boards or standard operating procedures for the other departments or functional groups. This is going to be amazing, and we can get better and better and better every time we do it. I would love to hear from you if you're doing this in the comments below so we can showcase your work. But in the meantime, in the description below, I'm going to leave you with a blog post that summarizes this, and I hope you've enjoyed this, that you can implement it. On we go.